at 9:30. Welcome, everybody. Okay, I'm Roxanne Hummel, your president, and I'd like you to join with me, stand if you're able, and for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If Secretary Thomas, can you give the video disclaimer?
Yes. This general. Can you hear me? Oh, yes. This general session is being filmed and posted on the member portal of the First Service Connect website. If you speak during homeowner comments, your image and comments will be included in the filming. Private audio or video recording are prohibited. Please silence your cell phones.
I'd like to make a note in our agenda that item B and C from new business are going to be postponed. I'm not tabling it because I'm not sure it's going to come back next month, so they're being postponed. New business. Oh, okay, let me tell you the page.
Up here?
New business, page 3. It's on this page 4. Item B and C. Paint project, tree trimming. Those are going to be pulled from the agenda. Everything else stands. So I would like to make a motion to approve this agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kathleen? And have a vote by raising your hands.
To unmute,
Roll call.
click.
Okay.
They should all be muted with me. I guess everything is fine.
We're just doing voting on the agenda. I made a change
That
to the
is
agenda.
us.
Okay, and
So that
I'll
stays
get back
on. That
to
stays the
Secretary
same.
Thomas for the roll call.
Roll call.
What about
President
They're all.
Ramel,
See the
I'm
slash
here.
on the mic?
Vice President Kathleen,
They're muted now?
Yeah, they are.
Director Teresa,
So they don't hear what's...
Director Lisa,
No,
Here.
we don't hear them.
Director Kirk.
Good. Got it.
Oh, First Service Residential General Manager Mike Flores. First Service Residential Vice President Marissa McVeigh. And Facilities Manager Fernando. Thank you.
Okay. Before we get going on our agenda, I've been informed that we do not have a quorum on either of the bylaw votes, A or B. So I am making a motion to extend that so that people who have not gotten their ballot in have till next month, May 22nd, at our May meeting. So I'm making the motion. Do I have a second?
I second it.
And that was Teresa. And by show of hands, everybody in favor? So it passed. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Executive session acknowledgement announcement. An executive session meeting was held on April 22nd, 2024, where the Board of Directors discussed some or all of the items related to the following: litigation or potential litigation, matters relating to the formation of contracts with third parties, member discipline, member delinquency, including payment plan requests, personal matters, and our approval of executive session minutes. Also, an emergency executive session meeting was held on April 23rd, 2022.
Thank you. Then let's take a look at our minutes from last month, March 27th. Are there any adjustments or changes to that? Anybody notice anything? Secretary? No. Okay, we're good? All right, so then can I get a motion then to approve the minutes from last month?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from last month.
Second. Teresa. All right, all in favor by raising their hand. 7. The motion was to approve March. Oh, all right. Going into our reports, I guess I'm first. Okay. Thank you all for coming. And just like to say good morning. I don't know about you, but I like to concentrate on the good things in my life. And one of those things is living here in Oceana. We have so many fun things to do here, such as pickleball, billiards, cards, book club, woodworking, lapidary, ceramic, and art workshops. Our activities committee is amazing and has sponsored so many events. I'd like to take this moment and ask you to join with me and thank them for the time and the commitment that they put into these events for you. Okay. I'd also like to thank all of the volunteers who work so hard, and particularly the staff at Sharon Ware. You really put in a lot of time, and we appreciate you. We maybe don't say it often enough, but thank you so much. This past month, I made it to the Patsy Cline review at the coffee hour. Fabulous. The spaghetti dinner prepared by Gail Alnick, that was amazing. It was like being in Italy. The Tai Chi class with Marlon and Peggy Moore's chair yoga class. I wish I had more time to participate. Do you realize what a treasure we have here? In the 3 years I've lived here, I've met so many wonderful, kind people, and that I now call friends. I see our landscaping starting to come alive under the expert hand of Bob and his crew from Total Landscaping. In the 7 weeks that he has been here, they have trimmed the slope the city required near the dog park, prepared the homes in Unit 12 for painting by trimming bushes away from homes, cleared out the RV lot, planted flowers near the office, completed all outstanding work orders, mowed the lawn weekly, and this week they are finishing in Unit 5, the last of that rotation for trimming and cleanup. Pretty amazing, I would say. We're hearing really good things about Bob. He expected when we interviewed him that it would take 6 to 8 months to have our community back in tip-top shape. There's a lot of work for him to do. Already, in my opinion, it isn't hard to miss the caring hands of his crew. Please be patient and notice the things that are getting done. The OCA board is moving forward with our strategic planning, and we would like to give you, the homeowners, the chance to participate by sending your great ideas to the board through me. My email is in the highlights. It's also on the website. It is remmel, R-E-M-M-E-L, at ocaoffice.org. Look it up in the highlights. I promise we will consider every idea when deciding what our strategic plan should be. Thank you for placing your hopes and confidence in us. And next, we have our secretary's report. Evelyn Thomas.
Like you, I too was confused when I opened the envelopes that held my ballots for Measure A and Measure B, proposed amendments to the 1997 bylaws. The previous board and the current board reported to the membership to expect color-coded ballots and color-coded envelopes, one yellow and one blue. The question conjured in my mind, what happened to the color-coded ballots and envelopes? This will confuse many residents. On behalf of the board, we apologize for the confusion and misinformation. On the flip side, we wish to thank you for participating in the process by voting and mailing your ballots. Every vote matters and every vote counts. This month, the board will plan to collaborate and dedicate essential time in effort to create a strategic plan to address various issues and tackle projects within the community. Thank you to the residents that shared ideas and concepts with the board regarding our strength and growth areas as a board and how we can better serve the community. In the near future, the board will share the 2024 OCA Board Strategic Plan with the membership. We look forward to serving you.
Thank you, Secretary Thomas. Our next is the Treasurer's Report from Treasurer Lynn Lisinski. Lynn had to have another important thing she had to take care of today, so she is not here, and I don't see that she sent in any report. Also, when it comes to the financial report, unless you know, the first service, okay, we won't be able to discuss that. So it's in the packet, and if you have questions, you could email Lynn with those questions, okay? Oh, definitely, yeah, we will be tabling. We're not going to make a motion on accepting them this month, so that will be extended to next month, okay? Next is our homeowner forum. A chance for you to speak out and let us know what's on your mind. I've got two that came into me by email, so I'm going to read them first. After I'm done with them, the first person that turned in was Gail Olnick, so if you could be ready to speak. And I'll call the next one after that. Vice President, yep, okay, Kathleen Dowling will let you know when your 3 minutes are up, so please try and stick to that. Okay, so this one is from Janice Hoople. I don't see that she put in here her house or unit number, so I'm just going to go ahead and read this. Her words. She says, "I did something truly amazing and challenging last Thursday. My psychologist took me to the clubhouse to hear Robert Parker on the piano. Tony and I used to go almost every time Robert was the entertainment at coffee hour. Memories," she says. "Robert was great as usual. I cried when he played Willie Nelson's song, 'You Were Always on My Mind.' I also felt like crying over how the clubhouse looked inside, drab and depressing, at least in my opinion. In the 26 years of living here, I have never seen it so plain and uninviting. White walls, no artwork, no color, the same old chairs that were never comfortable, fake flowers, holes in the window coverings, ceiling lights that were functional but had no style. Minimalism to an extreme. I never even got to the flooring. I know over the years money has been spent numerous times on refurbishing, and now our clubhouse auditorium, the center of our HOA activities, is truly in need of improvement. Again, my opinion. Is anything in the budget for improvement or upgrades to the clubhouse auditorium? And I would be happy to donate to fund real flowers in the table vases. I know Trader Joe's has beautiful bouquets for a reasonable price, and if someone would go on Wednesday to get a few bouquets for the Thursday coffee hour and through the week, I would fund it in memory of Tony Hoople." Thank you, Janice Hoople. I'll give this information to the liaison for activities to discuss. Thank you. And then I did get another one by email from Frank Melody. He is in Unit 10, number 22. And he says, prior to the move over to the first service, the monthly statement broke down the HOA fees into land lease, insurance, and HOA fees. Why did the monthly HOA fees get lumped together after the switch to first service? And when will we see the fees broken down on the first service statements? So again, I'm going to give this to the the director of the month, which is Secretary Evelyn Thomas, and she'll research that and get it into our news you can use in the highlights, okay? Next, homeowners that are here present, the first one to speak will be Gail Olnick, so come on up, Gail. And after that will be Lori Nichols, if you want to be ready. You have 3 minutes, Gail, and Kathleen will be timing. Thank you.
I'm less than 3 minutes, no
Okay.
worries.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This past Monday, I discovered that Nina Ybarra had put in her resignation. I was quite disappointed and saddened by the news, but I was not shocked. How can such a bright and personable woman work in a hostile environment run by First Service? To lose an employee as a result of office management? OCA did not hire a management company so that we could lose employees. What can the board of directors do to facilitate change here? I am asking that the board take immediate action to resolve this issue. If it is not, my belief is that we will continue to lose more people in the office that we so desperately need. They are our backbone. And as an aside, people talk. Members in this community are fully aware of what's going on. We see, we hear, and we feel. On another note, what an advantage for homeowners like myself to be able to express our thoughts and concerns. Thank you for the opportunity. However, when do my concerns get addressed? The board speaks of transparency. Where is the transparency? When do I find out what you have decided? When are my compliance issues going to be resolved? When will I receive the status of these issues? Are the governing rules of First Service in compliance with our CC&Rs and our bylaws? We moved here so that we could be part of a community, and some days it just doesn't feel that way. When I hear, I can't share that with you, I can't tell you anything about that. That's just for the board to discuss, and I could go on and on. I thought a lot about what I would express during homeowner comments. I sincerely hope my message was conveyed. And if you aren't sure about my message, please ask me. I can be quite transparent, and I'll share it with you.
Thank you, Gail. Next is Lori Nichols, and after that will be followed by Tony Schwab.
Alrighty, this is generally a controversial subject, but let's talk coyotes. I had 2 tries for my small dog in 1 month by coyotes. I've been here 13 years. I've never had them so close. I poked them with a stick. My dog now wears a coyote vest. People have been giving me shit about this vest, saying that it's not going to work, you spend too much money. What do you think it's going to do? It makes me feel better, whether it works for my dog or not. I say you're entitled to your opinions. Now it's my turn. The coyotes are trying to support their families. If they see an easy target, they're going to go for it. Who would blame them? People who allow their dogs to walk 6 feet in front of them or behind them are representing food as an easy target for coyotes. These people who are on their cell phones, not paying attention to their pets, are presenting easy targets, food, dinner, snacks for the coyotes. My order of importance, my dog, the coyotes, people. Shooting coyotes is not the answer. Shooting people's not legal. I sure don't have any permanent answers other than pay attention to your fur babies. Don't talk and ignore them. Talk at home. Talk when you're out elsewhere. Pay attention to your dogs when you are walking them. You are, in my opinion, to blame. Big time blame if your animal gets snatched, not the coyotes. My opinion, my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Okay, Tony, and following Tony is Deborah Schwab.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Following up on Gail Olenik's question, in the last 2 days, Oceana has seen a dramatic groundswell of support for Nina Ibarra of our office. Nina's attention to detail, courtesy, and can-do attitude are a totally positive force in Oceana, and I can attest to the 10 or 12 times in the last 3 months where she and the office have come to my rescue and solved problems along with me that were important to solve. But she wants out. She wants to leave. Why? That's the question. Nina may have many reasons that I don't understand, but the constant drumbeat in our community is that she has been made to feel uncomfortable, frustrated, and intimidated by First Service Residential, when she should be praised and thanked by all of us. To the board, I say, address this problem immediately before it is too late. Losing Nina is a symbol of how we can defeat ourselves. She is part of what we have going for us here, positivity and optimism. It is in every activity and every club. The board cannot allow that to be undermined. We must never have an office infected by cynicism. I see no evidence personally, and don't have any contacts here who do, that Nina is not living up to Oceana's standards of decency and ingenuity. Get her to stay and take care of whatever or whoever is making her want to leave. Thank you.
Thank you, Homeowner. Deborah?
Hi everyone, my name is Deborah Schwab. On that note, I am going to follow up on on Gail and Tony's responses on that. I am here because I do not want Nina to leave. Our Nina is priceless. Someone in First Service Residential has been rude, and you know who you are, disrespectful and curt. Our office is like no other office. That office takes care of us. We pay your salary. We can vote you out too. Your contract is coming up in August. We would like that person to step down and step out. We as a community have no room in our house for your bluster, your rudeness, your disrespect. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Deborah. Okay, I'm passing these to our board member of the month, and wherever possible, she will address these things in our highlights, news you can use. We do appreciate all of your comments. Sometimes they're rough to hear, but we need to hear it, so we do appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we're moving on. As I said, we are tabling the financial report and the approval of it until next month when Lynn can be here. It is available. You can reach out to her if you have some questions on it. The next on the agenda is the delinquency actions. And we have, we're looking to make a motion for lien approval for the units, account number 160-330-1100, 160-310-2200, 160-180-5600, and 160-394-4200. I would like to make a motion to the board to approve these for lien action. Do I have a second? Second. Is that Lisa? Lisa second. Okay, thank you. And with a show of hands, unless there's anybody who wants to discuss it further, okay, then have a little, other than yourself? Okay. Oh, it's 100%. Okay. Next, we are moving on to the general manager report, and that would be Michael Flores.
Thank you. We have received an increased number of homeowner concerns regarding the association's landscaping efforts. Due to the history of the previous landscaping company efforts, the new landscape company has reviewed the situation with management that resulted in the creation of a landscape action plan that was recently distributed throughout the community. We will continue to evaluate the current processes and make necessary revisions in order to fine-tune and streamline the process for maximum efficiency to provide transparency / clarity with the landscape conditions. We will be moving forward with regular status updates and communicate to the community via e-blast. The landscaper anticipates this to be in regular rotation within 6 to 8 months. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next is our facilities manager report. That would be Fernando. That is, well, it actually starts on page 29 if you have the packet in front of you.
Good morning, everybody. So we'll go down the completed area first. Unit 2 slope has been completed and passed all city inspections. Also, Unit 2 slope has been planted with vegetation. Unit 1A, house number 11, sidewalk north next to the front door has been grinded down and repaired. Unit 1A driveway from the community parking lot to the field was filled by concrete and patched. The red pavers in Unit 1 are homeowner responsibility. Any pavers that homeowners put out around your home, that actually becomes your responsibility to maintain and make sure they're level and not a trip hazard. Unit 2, W Street, near House 11, the concrete has been repaired. Unit 2, number 57, we grinded down the cracks, we patched them, and we filled in with the concrete where it needed to be filled in. Unit 7A, parking lot, lights have been repaired. We switched them over to LED lights. The RV parking lights have been replaced also, and they're working really good. They're switched over to LED, low voltage. Unit 12, 1 through 10 homes have been power washed and prepped. Unit 12 was delayed. It rained April 5th and 6th, also the 12th and 13th. So they're delayed by 4 days, but they're moving along. Now in progress, Unit 12, 1 through 10 is still in progress of being finished in painting. The backfilling is still in progress, and red line painting is still in progress. Up next, Unit 8 D Street is back on the agenda to get approved. D, C, and Unit 11. And also the reinstallation of the padlock using the key this time for the dog park.
In our executive meeting, we had much discussion on what contractor we wanted to use to do the asphalt replacement. Our board members went out with Fernando, thank you. He showed them the areas and why they were in dire need before we had a tripping hazard. So that was discussed in there, and we did make a motion in executive to hire American Asphalt to take care of that. We've used them prior, and they were also vetted by First Service and used in other communities that they work with. So that was taken care of. I have a question, Fernando, on number 5 in completed. The fact that it's a homeowner's responsibility. Do you know if they were sent to compliance to take care of it? I don't want to have a safety hazard.
So I did. We did inform Tracy. Tracy's doing did the paperwork, sent him a letter, and I think they already started working on that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, are there any questions from the board?
No.
Okay, we will move along. Let's see the maintenance report. Is there anything else that? See that? I don't think you talked about that yet, did you, Fernando? The maintenance report on page 30?
Yes, I did go over it.
Okay.
It's just in the solid description on the front.
Okay, very good. All right. Just a separate item there. Okay. We have removed B and C, so we're just going down to committee updates and their committee meeting minutes. On page 42, I just want to do a quick shout out from the, I think it's in the landscaping minutes, to Connie Ferguson, who has been taking care of the rock garden for over 2 years. And now Bob and Total Landscaping is going to take care of it, so she gets to spend her time at coffee hour or something else fun. But we want to thank her, and I know a lot of us who walk for exercise or our dogs, we really appreciate how nice it looks and has looked for all these years, so thank you so much. Okay. There is also a motion in activities. That was on page 43. Well, that's where it starts. Okay, on page 45, the activities asked the board to approve Mary Hall, who wants to work on getting a grant to subsidize art supplies. And so I would like to make that motion. It's on page 45. To make a motion to Mary Hall that she can pursue an outside grant to cover art supplies. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Kathleen is seconding it. Is there any discussion? Okay, then by a show of hands, everybody in favor? Okay, that was unanimous, thank you. Then we have some volunteers, yay, coming into our committee, that is great. Sandy Reiser is staying involved and wants to volunteer for Hub Committee. She helped formulate that committee, and I have all the paperwork on her. And then Dennis Metz and Donna Grable are putting in paperwork for volunteering on the Landscape Committee. I have not seen their paperwork yet, maybe the office has it, so I would like to make a motion to approve these 3 volunteers, subject to the volunteer forms being submitted if they aren't already. So do I have a second on that?
I second.
Okay, that was Teresa. And any discussion? Okay, everybody's good, then let's take a vote by the show of hands. In favor? And everybody's in favor of that, thank you. Okay, so normally at about this point, were there any other questions or discussion that anybody had from the board on the other minutes from the other committees? Okay, so we're going to just make a motion then to approve these minutes from all of the committees. Thank you so much for putting them together and all the work, hard work. You have a question? Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't have the architectural meeting minutes, so they can't be.
Okay, you are absolutely right. They did turn them in to us this morning, right, Evelyn?
Yes.
Yeah, so they aren't in there. It was just kind of a brief. So we'll have to wait until next month then. Table the architecture till next month to approve. And Kurt, you have a question?
Facilities Committee submitted an approval for Peggy Moore to be added to the Facilities Committee. That paperwork was submitted.
Okay, was it in the minutes? Did I miss it?
Yes.
Okay, well then let's go back to approving volunteers, and we'd like to also approve Peggy Moore as a volunteer on the Facilities Committee. Do I get a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, thanks Kurt. And any discussion? Okay, then by a show of hands. Okay, then Peggy Moore has been approved for Facilities Committee. Okay, so we will have to table the architecture minutes till we have a chance as a board to review the whole thing, and we can add that to our packet next month. So with the other minutes that are here, do I have somebody who'd like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
I second the motion.
Okay, I'll make the first. I'm asking for approval of all of the minutes from the committees. And Teresa seconded it?
Correct.
And is there any discussion on the minutes other than things already brought up?
Oh, I have one thing.
Oh,
I would like to see that Tracy can go forward with the letters to the homeowners on their approvals in architecture.
okay. Was there a reason that she wasn't going forward with the approvals?
Because if the board doesn't approve the minutes,
okay.
she cannot.
Okay. Okay, that makes it kind of tough. Can we do a provisional approval,
Yes.
subject to review of
Yes.
those minutes? Okay.
Yes.
Then I'll make the motion to do a temporary, or an approval subject to the review. Once the board members have had a chance to review, they can send me by email their approval so that Tracy can go ahead. Thank you, that is
thank you.
important. Okay, so can I have, I made the motion, a second on that for approval of the architecture minutes, subject to us doing a final review.
Second.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. And any discussion on that? Okay, then by show of hands, could you raise your hand if you're in favor? Okay, that was unanimous. Okay. Okay, going into unfinished business.
Pardon.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The other committees that are being represented here in the agenda, some are, I think, ready to be looked at again, look for volunteers, one of which might be the water redemption. That was, I think that was Lisa's brainchild previously. The other committee that's here says the ad hoc common area modifications. I don't know that that's in our strategic plan to continue with this. I move that we remove the item K, ad hoc common area modifications agenda item from future agendas until we have a plan. And I move that also we, for the ad hoc committee for water, that Lisa be, I don't want to volunteer you. I would
Yeah.
suggest that Lisa be the
Why-
chair on that.
Could I ask you to amend that? I think there's a discussion that needs to be had in strategic planning. And I know all of the hard work that Lisa has put into it, but let's have a discussion and decide how we want to structure that as an
Okay.
ad hoc committee, if you don't mind. And so let's, I'm just thinking maybe we should take each of these separately, okay? Kurt has made a motion to remove the,
I'll amend my motion.
pardon?
I'll amend my motion.
Yeah, for Lisa, for the water retention, right? But what about the common area? We're still going forward with
I
that
can
vote.
amend my motion. Or do
Okay.
you want to?
No, go ahead, if you want to
Okay.
keep them together, okay.
Yeah, so for the ad hoc committee, I make a motion that if it's going to be on the agenda, that at least it have a line item or explanation as to what's going on with it. The same with any other committee that doesn't have any minutes associated with them. As a board, that is, where this is in the process.
Okay, is there a second on that?
Second.
Okay, Lisa? And any discussion, further discussion? Okay, Kathleen?
I would just say I don't feel comfortable voting on this because I know nothing about it, so I'm going to defer my vote. Thank you.
I'll just speak next and we'll go around. I think if I'm correct, Kurt, you're asking for it to just be maybe temporarily taken off our packet until we get moving on some kind of an ad hoc on these and formulate an idea and who's in charge, and then that person can be putting together a report. Am I correct in that?
My motion was not to remove them from the agenda. My
Okay.
motion was to continue to have them on the agenda as you recommended, and to just have a note next to it as to kind of where we are. So
Okay.
that,
Oh, okay.
so that those people looking at the agenda month after month after month and seeing no notes,
Okay,
whether the secretary adds that or you add that there be some background, minimal background and explanation as to why they continue to be on the agenda.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that for
Sure.
me. Does anybody else have any discussion or questions on Kurt's motion? Okay, then let's take a vote. All in favor of that motion, raise a hand. And all those against the motion or abstaining? Thank you, so it was 6-0-1. Okay. Here. Was there anything else with the, did we do a final vote on the committee minutes? Or did Kurt's motion come in?
Kurt's motion came in.
Okay, so we still need to vote on that. Okay, so, and we have a first and a second, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then let's go back to approving the minutes of the committees then. Raise your hand if you're in favor of that with the, the additional motion that Kurt did to clarify. So you can just raise your hand if you're in favor of going ahead with that, with the understanding that architecture would we would have time to review that before that went into a final approval. Okay.
What are we voting on? I'm unclear now with architecture thrown on there.
Okay, we're voting on the minutes, all of the minutes of the committees. And so I just clarified that architecture is a provisional approval. Okay? So all those in favor of approving those committee minutes, you can raise your hand. Okay, and we have 6, and opposed or abstain? Kathleen's abstaining. Okay, thank you. Let's see, there was a rental policy update. That project is still in progress. All first courtesy letters for rentals have been completed. Homeowner-owned homes or lived-in homes that did not submit the form will be completed by May 15th, along with second letters to the rentals that have not responded to the courtesy letter. This is really an important issue because when people are purchasing the home, this needs to be stated accurately in our escrow. Could determine whether or not somebody might be able to get a mortgage or not. So it is important, if you have not turned in that, it is a required document that must be sent in every year. So if you haven't done that, please make sure you get that in. Okay. Going down to new business, there was some things that came up during the past month about our staff, our maintenance staff, offering to do some repairs on fascia for Unit 12. So they would have an opportunity to choose between that or between the AF General's offer to do the linear footage repairs. In talking about this, I have made a motion that our OCA maintenance staff, you can read it there, should not be available for hire for repairs that are homeowners' responsibility. So going down to item or pinpoint 1 through 4, first of all, our maintenance staff has plenty of work to do without taking them away from their tasks. There could be potential liability if the work isn't done properly or all damage isn't assessed correctly. AF General has offered their service at $50 a linear foot, or homeowners can do it yourself, or they can hire an outside handyman or contractor. We're not requiring them to go with AF General. Also, it would require unnecessary need for extra accounting of this extra money flowing in. So I've made the motion that OCA maintenance staff not be available for hire for repairs for this or any other that are homeowner responsibility. So do I have a second on that? Kathleen is seconding it. Do we have any discussion? Okay, then I'll take the vote. All in favor, raise their hand. And that's unanimous. Thank you. Wow. Whoa, scared me. That scared me. I'm gonna have to use some glasses. All of a sudden turned on me. Okay, better? Hello? Yep. Okay. We're coming to the end of our board meeting. It's a record. We do at this time ask if there are any questions from attendees. They can raise their hand and take the table and the microphone. Our next meeting will be held at 9. Okay. Okay. Who had their hand up first? Ellen? Oh, you did. Okay, Pat?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You gotta be there.
I've been out of town for a while. What is the form you're referring to that we all have to sign and submit? Because
Okay.
if I got it, I didn't see it.
Okay. I'm going to let First Service explain that to you. Okay?
It's the annual rental.
Thank you, everybody.
It's the annual disclosure form that everybody fills out. Basically says, this is how I want to be contacted, this is where I want my bills sent, all that stuff. And then if there's any rental information, then you would provide the rental information along with the lease information. But
Thank you.
Okay. Ellen would like to take the stand here.
Hi, I'm Ellen Marcial, Unit 7. As a chair of a committee and currently and also chair of past committees, it is a two-step process to approve volunteers. It has to be approved by the committees first, and then the board, in approving the committee's minutes, de facto approves the volunteers. Kurt, there's no reference to Peggy Moore in your minutes, at least the ones that are in the packet. And as for making a provisional approval, so that you can have a volunteer on the architectural committee, even though you don't have the architectural committee minutes. I don't know, and I know it's a little onerous. You got to have everything in line. There's a lot of paperwork. It takes time. There's meetings. Anyway, I just throw that out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do have the full minutes for architecture.
Oh, but this was landscape. Oh, what she talked about, that was just on the minutes, but I think you were saying, Ellen, if I'm right, you were referring to the fact that we were accepting the volunteers for landscape,
Okay.
and yet I didn't have their volunteer forms in front of me.
It's facilities that we're talking about.
Well, both of those.
But then she said we can't have provisional approval on the architectural minutes because we don't have them. We do have them.
We did supply the facilities committee minutes as well. Did we not, Evelyn?
It's not in here.
Yes, you did, Director.
The minutes are
Yeah.
here. You didn't approve Peggy in your minutes.
Point of information, Director Kurt, who's the liaison for a facilities committee, they did submit their meeting minutes, but however, they were not placed in the packet.
And was Peggy Moore approved in those minutes for volunteer on that committee? I didn't see it when I went through.
I didn't see it.
Is Peggy Moore in there, Kurt?
I'm not sure which one was submitted.
Okay, so,
Someone would have to read that.
okay, so,
Theirs is different.
okay.
I think March 11th, meeting minutes were submitted for facilities.
Okay, so we will,
I meant April 11th.
okay, let's do it right, okay? So the only paperwork that I saw in there was for Sandy Reiser and the hub, okay? I think we have in the past approved volunteers without seeing the paperwork, with the assumption that perhaps, do you know if it's in the office, those people I mentioned?
not right now, but we can
Okay.
double check.
So I'm going to, just to do it correct, I'm going to ask for rescinding the volunteer, not the architectural minute approval. That needs to go forward. We have them, they just aren't in the packet. Okay, but I am going to ask that both landscape and facilities turn in the paperwork for these volunteers, okay? So the people can still attend the meetings, you know, find out what's happening, but we'll just do the approval then technically next month. So I'm going to rescind, that would be Dennis Metz and Donna Grable, because I don't have the volunteer forms. And I'm going to rescind Peggy Moore until we have the volunteer forms. Okay, and so I would like a second on that.
Second.
Okay, thanks, Lisa. And any discussion? Okay, then I will ask for a vote on that. All in favor of waiting till next month by rescinding it this month? We have 4, are you going to vote?
Yeah, I'm voting.
5, okay, 5 in favor and all against it? Or abstaining?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay, Kurt is abstaining. Yeah, I apologize, but it really isn't in here, so we'll do that next month. Okay.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
I thought I'd been following this, but maybe I missed it. You said the meeting was over, but you still have Unit 12 paint project motion and the tree trimming to discuss that?
We took that out in the beginning of the meeting, and
Oh,
we
you
had a motion to approve the adjusted agenda.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
No
that.
problem. Thank you. Okay. We'll come back to those. Okay. So are there any other homeowners who had questions at this point? Okay. Then I do want to mention that the next general meeting will be 9:30 as usual on May 22nd. Hopefully we will have more people who have turned in their votes on the 2 bylaw provision or ballots that are out. And so at this point, it is 10.
Is it May 22nd?
It's the last Wednesday of every month.
May 29th? It's the 29th? Well, okay, well, no, I'm sorry, that's what's in here. So I'm gonna ask, because I was out of town, I'm gonna ask Secretary Thomas to tell us what the official calendar says for the next meeting.
Well, we switched the executive session meeting because it fell on a holiday.
And that was going to be on the 20th.
That was going to be on the 20th. No, actually, the executive session was planned for the 27th, but we switched that to the 20th because Memorial Day is on the 27th.
Okay.
However, we still kept May 29th as the official board meeting.
Okay.
Wait, 1, 2, 3.
May
Yes.
29th, okay. I'm sorry, that's incorrect on page, I have page 6. So it's May 29th. We will put that in e-blast and get that on the website also. So it is, as usual, the last Wednesday of the month. And the only reason we're switching the executive meeting is because it falls on Memorial Day. Good question, thank you. If there's nothing else, I'd like to adjourn the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
A motion, we adjourn.
Okay, Kathleen, in a second.
Second.
Teresa, second. Any questions, anything else we need to discuss? Okay, I'll ask for a show of hands for us to adjourn. Okay, thank you. Thank you all for coming. Have some donuts and coffee. See you next month. And if you do have anything you want to add for the strategic meeting when we're discussing that, please send it in.
Discussion of the judgment, the judge's discussion, litigation.
Oh, I
We
don't.
didn't talk about that at all.
You're right. Boy, I put forth a summary on the judge's.
Still don't understand it.
Okay, on the judge's decision, and I I got a summary from Attorney Smelko, which again was confidential, but I put it in my own words and had it approved. And so I sent that out to everybody by email, hopefully, but it was still hard to understand.
Could
Um,
you reiterate?
Reiterate it?
Yeah, you know, I would feel more comfortable having that paperwork in front of me. You know, I'm gonna have to do it by memory, okay? So what my memory, if it serves well, and I'm 71, so who knows, is that on the cause of actions 1 through 4, which basically dealt with the whether or not OLC is responsible for replacements, which was probably the meat of the cross complaint. The judge felt that that was not what he calls a res judicata. In other words, it was not a statute of limitations because this was a whole new issue. These crumbling infrastructure has come about just in the last few years because of the aging community that we live in. Okay, so he felt it did not fall under that, and so it hadn't been basically tried or brought before the court before. So there were various points to that 1 through 4, and I'm sorry I can't tell you each point what they meant. But then the other 5, 6, 7, 8 had to do. Go ahead.
Can we go forward then?
We are, yes, we are, the board has taken a vote in executive, and I have turned that into Attorney Smelko, and we are going the next step. Okay. He asked for whether we should amend number 5 in 5 through 8. It was, they were sustained. In other words, the judge agreed with OLC on those. They had more to do with whether we could hold OLC responsible for the situation we're in right now with certain people who had $15 a month leases, you know, when we equalized and they started to sue us. So we were in those points trying to hold OLC responsible. The judge felt that that had already been tried in the 1984, I think it was 84, and there's certain points, whether they're the same party, whether it's the same subject, you know, and he felt all of those criteria fell in there, but he did give us leave to amend number 5, okay? And that had to do with declaratory relief.
Roxanne, stop. You're not ready to make this presentation, and I don't want you to say anything that you don't want to say.
Yeah, it is off the record, yeah. So I'll tell you, if you have more, if you have more questions, if you have more questions as a homeowner, I would be happy to talk to you. And I also offered to anybody who had questions that I didn't know the answer to, that I would talk to Attorney Smelko about it, okay?